Hi, this is Welcome to Self, and I'm your host, Dr. Hayley D. Quinn, the anti-burnout business coach. I'm a speaker, author, former clinical psychologist, and late identified ADHDer. Welcome to Self is a podcast for business owners like you who want success, but not at the cost of your well-being. This is about transforming self and transforming business. I'll be here to remind you that you're human first, and as well as being a business owner, you have different roles in your life that need your attention. And to manage those well, you need to take care of yourself in the best way possible. Here you'll learn about practices that'll help you navigate not just your business, but your non-work life as well. And you'll realise that you're not alone in the ways you struggle. You'll have your curiosity piqued on various topics as I chat with wonderful guests and bring you solo bite-sized episodes. I'm here for service-based business owners and entrepreneurs like you to help you increase your self-care and compassion, change your relationship with yourself and your business, and elevate your business to a new level so you can live the full and meaningful life you desire. This is a place of nourishment, growth, and helpful information. A place where you can learn ways to assist you and your business to thrive. We'll talk all things mindset, strategy, and well-being, and I'm so excited you're here. If you haven't already, go and hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to another bite-sized episode. How good was last week's episode with Emily? If you haven't already tuned in, I highly recommend that you do. It was such a pleasure chatting with her. Today, I want to have a little heart-to-heart about a word I hear so often in my coaching work and previously in my clinical work, and one I used to say to myself often as well. The word should. I actually hear it everywhere. I should be doing more. I should have this all figured out by now. I should say yes to that. Relatable? If you're constantly shoulding yourself, you're not alone. We develop these habits, and thankfully, we can also change them. Shoulds can sneak in wearing very convincing disguises. They often sound responsible or productive. But here's the truth. Shoulds can be other people's beliefs that we have taken on and are often internalized pressure or fear that disconnects us from what we actually want or need. And when we're making decisions based on pressure or fear, rather than wisdom, it's no wonder we feel exhausted or out of alignment. Decisions made this way don't give us the life we want. They don't help us take care of ourselves the way we need to. And they often don't leave us feeling great about ourselves. So today, I want to invite you to stop shoulding all over yourself and step into self-leadership. Self-leadership is the practice of choosing from a place of values, care, and clarity, rather than obligation, guilt, or comparison. It allows a more compassionate approach, one that serves you and others much better in the long run. Here's some questions I often ask clients, and I invite you to ask them of yourself. When you catch a should, pause and ask yourself, where did this should come from? Is this something I truly value? And what would I choose if I trusted myself? This is where compassion comes in. We don't beat ourselves up for having shoulds. They're often old patterns from culture, family, or past roles we've played. But we can meet them with curiosity. We can be understanding of how we've developed this shouldy pattern. And we can give ourselves space and grace to choose differently. Self-leadership isn't about always knowing the answer. It's about giving yourself permission to ask a different question. One that honors your capacity. One that considers your values. One that invites you to tune in to the relationship with yourself and seek what you really need or want. So today, my questions for you are, where are shoulds showing up in your life or business right now? What would shift if you replaced those shoulds with a values-aligned choice? And remember, you are the expert on you. And the more you lead from within, the more sustainable your success becomes. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. Until next week, go well and go gently with yourself. And do your best to lead from wisdom, not pressure or fear. Take care. Thanks for sharing this time with me today. I hope it's been helpful and supportive. If there's been something in this episode that you have found helpful, I encourage you to share it with your business besties so they can benefit too. Shares, ratings and reviews really help to increase awareness and reach of the podcast, meaning more people can benefit from the information. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you'd like to know about the ways we can work together, check out my website at drhayleydquinn.com. I'll pop the link in the show notes, and you can also join my mailing list from there and be kept up to date with all that is happening. I do need to say, because legal stuff, this podcast is solely for the purpose of education and entertainment. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for individual advice or advice of health professionals or other qualified professionals. Okay, now we've got that formal stuff out of the way. I love hearing from listeners, so don't be shy. Reach out and let me know your thoughts on the episode or what else you'd like to hear about. I wish you well in your relationship with yourself and your business, and may you go well and go gently. And remember, if you thrive, your business will too.